been doing drugs. So hi, what's up? It's been a few months again. You might notice that my background's different. Long story short, I moved 6 months ago. I'll do a separate video covering like the whole process and what went into it and why, because that's kind of out of the range of this video. But the more important thing is is I'm on HRT now, and I have been for about five or so months now. So I thought I'd go over the process and how I got it, because a lot of people are like really worried about it. So I'm going to just give you a basic overview of what happened, and how much it cost without insurance, because I'm not insured right now. Yay! So basically, what I did is I got it through informed consent with Planned Parenthood, which is the easiest way you can get it in America. So let me go back to the beginning. HRT, if in case you're unaware, is hormone replacement therapy, which is used by trans people who want to do a body transition to have similar body to the gender they identify with. And that's usually done through medicine. And yeah, so I'm doing it through pills. There's other forms which I will talk about. Next thing is, so informed consent more or less just means that you say I'm of sound mind and I would like this. So you don't have to get like a note from like a psychiatrist or anything like you might have to through other avenues. Planned Parenthood is not the only place that offers it. There's this excellent resource for people who live in the US that has a big map of all the informed consent clinics. So you can find the closest one to you, give them a call, or check their website if they've got one, and set up an appointment. So that's what I did. I actually looked on this map for when I moved down here, and I found the closest place was a Planned Parenthood clinic. It's about a 30-minute drive away. And yeah, I went on their website and I signed up for a appointment. They've got this excellent form thing that you can go through on their website that allows you to just type in what you want, the date, and everything. Sometimes it doesn't work. It might not load up. I assume it does this if they have like a lot of appointments planned up. But if you call them, they'll give you a number on the website. You can call them and set up an appointment anyway. That's what I ended up having to do. It was about like, I don't know, it was a few weeks out from when I called, but got delayed because of I don't know, something happened in the office and they had to push my appointment back a little bit. But it's like super easy. Just go through their website and you can do that. I'm not sure how like independent clinics do it. I assume you'll probably have to give them a call if they don't have a like a nice website like a big chain does. Uh, so you also have an option when you do that is you can either go into the office like a traditional doctor's appointment, or you can actually just have them do a video call with you, which is what I did because it's a lot easier and less stressful for me. I don't like driving, especially in a city that I'm not used to. But yeah, basically you'll just do a face-to-face video call, and it's super easy. You'll talk to them for about 40-50 minutes. Uh, and that's really it. The appointment is super easy. It was pretty stress-free. If you are doing the online appointment, you will have to go through a few like history forms they put up. It's for your medical history, your sexual history, and social factors. Medical history is just like if you have like other conditions that might be complicated, like maybe allergies, previous surgeries, something like that. Your sexual activity, which is basically if you're at risk of getting STDs or something like that. And social factors is about whether or not if you're in a safe living situation. And so you'll talk to your doctor for a little bit, and you can all when you my words have left. When you're talking to your doctor, they will actually beforehand when you're setting up your appointment, you can tell them your preferred name, your preferred pronoun, so you don't have to worry about correcting them or anything like that. You can talk to your doctor and they will ask you like, hey, so like here's a few things that they'll want to go over. Main thing I've noticed is that they'll ask you if you have experience with needles or anything like that. I said no because I don't. I'm assuming if you say yes, that they will probably prescribe you a liquid hormones instead of pills. There are also patch hormones. I'm not familiar with either how the injectables or the patch works because I've never used them. Used them. I've only used the pills, which are super easy. The appointment itself, the initial appointment actually, which costs a little more than follow-up appointments. I don't know. But that appointment ran me about $80. After that appointment, they went and prescribed me esterol and progesterone. That's these two ones here. They will ask you if you want to do a high dose or a low dose. I want to go as fast as possible, so I went with high dose, so it's double what the low dose would be. They'll tell you for these ones, the estradiol. I'm probably saying it wrong, but these ones are the most common ones. The main thing you have to know when you're taking them is that they need to dissolve under your tongue and get absorbed into your bloodstream that way, because swallowing it will actually make it take longer because it has to pass through like the liver and stuff like that, so it might get filtered out. So you want to just let it dissolve in your mouth. So I usually just stick it under my tongue and let it do its stuff there. Yeah, and the other one is progesterone. You don't have to take this. I took it because I heard it helped with breast growth, and that sounds fantastic. That one's just super easy. You just swallow it, and that's it. But so after you've had your appointment, you talk to them, they'll say, okay, I've sent a thing to your preferred pharmacy, which is something you set beforehand. If you haven't set one, you can ask them about it. They'll ask you about it and you can set up where you want it. I just grabbed the closest one. They're like, yeah, you can go to your preferred pharmacy in about 2 hours and you pick it up same day. That's something that was like super nice for me because I thought I was going to have to take a blood test first because I've heard about that, but apparently not. So I went down to the pharmacy I chose, and I picked it up. So there's one problem when you are uninsured is that medicine's expensive. Medicine is really expensive. So so each one of these is set to last a month. This is the esterol, cost me let's see, I'm looking at my notes. $17. And these, the Gressroom, cost me $52 for a month's supply. So that's 60 something dollars every month. Thankfully, when I was checking out, the pharmacist was like, "Oh, sorry, honey, this is so expensive." She's like, "Here, you should get this app. It'll help save money." So the app she recommended me was GoodRx, which basically is insurance for uninsured people. So it's basically just a coupon that they can apply to your account that counts as insurance every time you go and pick it up. So next time I went and picked it up, so the next month it saved me like $36, which is like that's like almost the entire cost. It saves a lot of money. If you're uninsured, I highly recommend picking that app up and make an account. It's free. There's no reason to not worry to not use it. Something I forgot to mention while I was talking about apps, if you're getting your medication from a chain pharmacy, see if they have a mobile phone app. It'll make tracking your refill dates and when you can go pick up your medicine a lot easier than just having to call them. Thanks, back to the video. And one other thing that you can actually do this without having like a prescription or anything. My doctor told me to pick up a woman's multivitamin. This is just a non-brand one I got at Target. And that costs me like $9 or $10 every like 3-4 months or whatever. But there's only one thing you have to worry about when you're taking these, because if you're gonna have a blood test, every few months, and you want to make sure there is no where are you? Biotin right here. I'm not sure if you can see it on there. Biotin. It's not focusing very well, but biotin. If the vitamins you're taking has biotin, you want to stop taking them about a week before your blood test. I've been told because that can throw off the results, and you don't want that. But speaking of the blood test, after you've been on the stuff for 3 months, you will go in for a blood test and just to check your hormone levels versus the hormone levels that you want, and they will adjust your medication accordingly. So you'll go in. It's really quick. It's about 10 minutes. They will stick a needle in your arm, probably around here. Both times I've had two blood tests so far. Both times they've missed my vein the first time. So that was fun. If you want advice on dealing with being having blood taken, don't look at them stabbing you and focus on something just like over focus on anything else other than the needle going in your arm. But yeah, after that blood test, you will have a follow-up meeting to go over your blood levels in 2 weeks. And it's just like the one you took earlier. Either you can do it in person at the doctor's office, or you can do it over the internet, which is what I always do because it's a lot simpler than driving 30 minutes both ways. The blood test itself does cost money. My first one cost me $135, that's a lot. That's a lot of money. That's over a third of my monthly rent. But yeah, that it will cost that. Then you will have your follow up with the doctor, which is actually cheaper than your first one. It's $69 for no, $69 for me anyway. I have hair in my eye. Please. Uh and then that they will adjust your dosage after the follow up. So what they did for me is like, okay, we see how your body is reacting to this. Do you want to increase your dosage, or we're going to increase your dosage, or give you a new medicine because that's like their policy. So what they did for me, this is the esterol again. They increased the dosage of esterol to 4 milligrams up from 2, but I still get 2 milligram tablets. I just take them twice a day, once in the morning, once at night. Cheat code: use a the alarm feature on your phone if you've got one, and just set it for a time and just say take hormones so you don't forget. Or you can get one of those pill organizer things. I've been really considering picking one up at some point because I keep wondering, like, did I actually take my stuff today? I don't remember. Then my progesterone stuff actually didn't change. We've kept it the same. And they added a new medication for me, which is spirlactolone. I said that incredibly long, which is just another pill. And I take two of them, one at a time. Two of them at a time in the evenings versus the esterol, where you take one in the morning and one in the evening. And thankfully, the prices of those aren't too bad. Using the coupons that I mentioned earlier, Spiro is $16, esterol is 23, which was like, well, that went up, but that's because it's doubled dosage. So instead of 30 of them, I have 60. And then the progesterone is still at $24. But yeah, that's basically how it went for me. It's surprisingly super easy. But yeah, that's how I got mine. It's like really easy. Basically, if I say quick, look on the consent map, find the closest place to you, give them a call or check their website, set up an appointment. Go to your initial appointment where they'll decide how much dosage you want. 3 months in, you will have a blood test. 2 weeks after that, you'll have a follow up where they go over the results of your blood test and may alter your dosage. 3 months later, you'll have another blood test, which I just had like last week or so. And then 2 weeks after that is your next follow up. And I believe after that, the blood test should be every 6 months, or maybe down to a year. Like the amount of time that you have in between stuff goes up and up. But yeah, that's how I did it. If you're American, you live in America in a state that has informed consent, I highly recommend going through it instead of going through traditional traditional route with like a psychiatrist and stuff because it's just so much faster and they don't keep you from medicine. Yeah, but that's it. Thanks for watching. This was really short. It's actually my second time recording this. I recorded the first one a few months ago and it was a bit longer, but whatever. This is close enough. There's not like a ton of. It's not really complicated, surprisingly. I'm really sorry if you live outside the US because I don't really have any good information to give you because as far as I'm aware, there isn't really an equivalent like system anywhere else. Maybe Canada, I don't know, but if you're outside the US, I wish you luck. I hope you get a much easier path to hormones very soon because I've heard some horror stories from people. But that's it. Thanks for watching. I will see you in whatever the next video is. Bye. Hey, thanks for watching the video all the way to the end. If you want to support me, you can follow me on Twitter or Twitch. If you want to support me monetarily, you can donate to me on Patreon. You can also join the Discord server if you want to help build a community. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.